to respond to host failure with minimum disruption, and so on and so forth. Now remember, that's what KVM and VMware. Here's a slide that talks about what all you can do when you combine hardware and hypervisor integration. So, for example, if you take the concept of image management, right? Whether you're managing PowerVM images, VMware images, KVM, or Hyper-V, doesn't matter. You can always get the same console to do the job, right? Being able to workload management, being able to automate virtual server, network, and storage resource allocation, and I think this point is extremely important because it gives you a clear view of how various systems get integrated with each other, right? So the key part that we've seen across the world is that customers are really liking the aspect of relocation plans when they're able to integrate the hardware capabilities. The hardware is becoming intelligent. Hypervisor is intelligent. So getting all of this to work for you, simplifying it, right? Now we'll get into a little bit of technical details on some of the new technologies that are coming out on the server and the storage front, sorry, the storage and network front, which are enabling all of these additional capabilities, right? Now, the first part is something called VM ready. Now, traditionally, your physical switches are not able to see the IP addresses of your virtual machines. Okay, you can see the physical server, but you absolutely difficult or impossible for any of your Catalyst or your older switches, 1 gigabit switches, to be able to see the VM traffic. The new switches that are coming out, and I was one of the first to do that, these switches are now able to see the IP address of the virtual machine. So now the VLAN traffic migrations that you were earlier wanting to do now get done seamlessly on this, right? So the network administrator, so let me explain to you how this persistent connectivity goes on, right? So network admin sets up a library logical network profiles, which allows him to maintain his security. Okay. The server admins can then use their virtualization console, whether VMware, FSM, Flex System, or Hyper-V, doesn't matter, to associate the VMs with the logical network profiles created. So now, when you move your VMs, since a logical network profile is created on the switch, it doesn't matter. The switch knows where to direct the VLAN traffic, thus taking and fixing a lot of the other issues. For example, right? Today's VM management depends on separate management and administration of physical networking. Right? You have virtualization management tools to focus on the hypervisor network and network configuration of physical switches. Therefore, there are a lot of delays and errors. By creating a logical network in the virtual world, all of that complexity gets managed by the system, reducing human error. Okay? So when you start moving your virtual machines, the system knows where to move the VMs without disrupting any of your VLANs. Right? That's one of those things that explains how this virtualization piece works. Right? Now, so when you want to do a dynamic configuration of LAN on OS, take this animation for example, right? The setup here that you see, and you do refresh in 1 or 2 seconds, is all of it connecting to a single network, right? Now within this physical network, what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 separate networks, logical network A and network B, right? Now, I am able to associate the various VMs as per those logical network profiles that include the VLANs and the QoS attributes that are automatically applied when VMs are deployed and moved around. Okay, so regardless of where you move your VMs, your network properties follow through. Right? Now, with the logical networks, right? Network admins are able to provision for new virtual machines And since you know a new virtual machine that is being provisioned needs to get a particular network profile, just associate it and all of the network properties get automatically attached to it. Right? This gives you a lot of quality and efficiency in VM management on networking. Right? Now, in the beginning of the slide deck, I talked to you about showing open standards-based virtualization, right? Open standards. So 802.1 QDG is an IEEE protocol that has enabled these physical switches to see the VM IP address. Now, the key part here is this protocol is limited not to IBM, but is being adopted by Juniper, by almost all the other vendors out there, HP, Dell, HP, Post-10, Extreme, QLogic, Emulex, you name them, right? Everybody, well, except Cisco. Cisco is on a different protocol called 802.1 QBH, right? So you may have Juniper switches, you may have any other vendor switches, doesn't matter. Being on open standards, all of this works through, right? Storage management also is integrated into this system.